Hey everyone, it's Nick with Us versus Herd. If it's your first time here, you like the content, hit subscribe. If you want to get notifications when we go live, tap the bell. Just tap it, tap the bell. And if you want to join the UVH fam, links are below in the description to join our Discord and our free options trading group on Facebook, along with our main channel, the Us versus Herd channel. So this is just our live channel. We are here morning. December 31st, 2019, last day of the year. Futures are starting off a little red. S&P's down almost 6, Dow's down 47, NASDAQ down 23 currently, getting cut down the most. Rob, how you doing? If you're here right now, say what up, say good morning. Hope you guys are ready. Let's get this going for pre-market. Let's get it going. Let's get it. Looks not well out there. Yeah, I mean it's not that bad though. But we'll see. We'll see if they're gonna close the last day of the year red. Yo, Chris, how you doing? Thanks for subscribing 35 minutes ago, man. I appreciate it. Thanks for subscribing to the channel. So if you're here right now, say what up. Let's talk about what we're looking at. Kelly, how you doing? One of the things that's on my agenda, I do have a call credit spread on Apple right now. I'm short the 290 call. I'm long the 292.50 call. I got $1.30 in credit, so I'm looking to get rid of that. So looking to get rid of Apple. If it got cut down a little bit. I put it up when it was like 291, 292 area. It's now pushing 290. So looking to take that off today. Still loses way too much money. Yeah, NIO. So yeah, NIO. I did a video about NIO yesterday. So NIO I think is up roughly 16% pre-market, 17%, something like that right now. It's at 427. A couple hurdles it has to jump through. It's above $4 right now. We'll see if that can hold it. It really needs to hold above $4. It needs to consolidate, and it really needs to be able to push above this area here, 5. So, the thing about NIO, because it's dropped. If you look over the last 2 years here, the thing about NIO is it's dropped from $13 when it was IPOing. IPO'd at 6, ripped up to $13.80. Let's see here. We can get more data here. Okay, yeah, and it pretty much held all year last year for the most part. Even when the market was selling, off, it didn't really do that terrible. And then it ramped up. It was this earnings right here that was really the nail in the coffin that set it off. To go down quarter after quarter. And like I was saying in my video last night, I mean they are starting to turn the ship around. Oh, the one thing I didn't point out in the video that I forgot to point out about is what's pretty interesting. Let me pull up NIO here. What's pretty interesting is let me get Adam Finance going over here. Come on. Okay, so what's interesting here is they don't have it this morning. It does. Goldman downgraded it. Bank of America, it's not up to date. Bank of America actually upgraded NIO this morning, and the one thing is Bank of America is currently holding 5 million, almost 6 million shares. Their share percentage recently increased as of September. So, the one thing that I will say about the institutional holders, I mean, we have Bank of America, Goldman, Vanguard, BlackRock. So, just to be Credit Suisse, they're holding 6 million. BlackRock's holding 19 million shares. Which, I mean, for a penny stock, it's not that much, but BlackRock went down 6%, but Goldman's holdings went up to 222%. Credit Suisse went up 1,200% in terms of their, and Bank of America went up 100%. So they doubled their amount of shares that they purchased. And this morning, Bank of America actually upgraded NIO. This is not updated yet in terms of analysts. So kind of interesting. So, for NIO, it's got some hurdles. There's a lot of sellers. There's going to be a lot of sellers between 4 and 6. There's going to be a lot of sellers here. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. And if it gets a huge pop like it did yesterday, I mean, it had huge rips yesterday. I mean, definitely, it had this final push. Definitely sell those candles because I know there's a lot of people that were holding, and it went down over $1 afterwards. So don't be greedy. Don't be greedy. Take your gains. If you make 100, 200, 300%, we all want to hit. I know, Kelly, you hit 1,000%, but at the end of the day, it's better to lock in profits and redeploy than it is to lose your money. Kind of like what I was saying yesterday. So I was trading FedEx yesterday. I sold this pop up here. And then it gave it all back, and I would have lost money. So, you never know what the stock is going to do. I mean, it has a lot of momentum. Also, what I was saying about yesterday about NIO is it was getting on a lot of penny stock scanners. A lot of penny stock traders were starting to trade it. At that point, it becomes unreasonable in terms of what the stock is going to do. So, like I was saying, it gets to be very penny stock pump and dumpish in this type of area. Reebok calls closed yesterday. Well, hopefully get another pop at 450, 480 area. Just be careful. What's up? You like the meme? You spit out your coffee. So right now, in terms of SPY, it's coming down 320. Yesterday we had a little red day. I mean, these red days are barely anything. What I would like to see for SPY is to kind of come back, not all in one day, but kind of come back, revisit the 315 area. We can't just keep going up and up and up. We need some sort of consolidation. I think consolidation on SPY between 310, 315 would be healthy. Going into the new year. So, let's see what Tesla's doing this morning. Tesla's down. Tesla's down to 407 this morning. They closed at 414. I mean, they got slaughtered yesterday right at open. Yesterday they went down 428 to 409, so almost 20 points. But I mean, I guess you knew that was going to happen to Tesla eventually. I mean, Tesla also has been acting a little unreasonable. But to be fair, I mean, Tesla hasn't experienced the same type of growth, but it's also currently a money-losing company. So, you can't. A lot of people compare Tesla to Apple and to other tech stocks like Amazon and stuff like that, but you really can't because financially Tesla's not even close to an Amazon or an Apple or anything like that. But I would like to see on Tesla, a retest of the 393 area, 80 area, and then kind of bounce from there. But if the thing about Tesla is they're known to have bad quarters, anything can happen. I know they just opened up their new plant in Shanghai, so you got to be careful. They do, and if they do have a bad quarter next quarter, I mean, this could come back down to 300, 250, no problem. Yeah, looking like rip and fade. So the question is, just got to be careful. Today is the last day of the year. Hope you guys are ready to get it. You want to be careful because there's going to be rotation in the market. It's not going to make a lot of sense sometimes. Some people are going to be rotating either losers, pensions, stuff like that. They're going to be rotating money before the first of the year as well. So you're going to see things moving. We got gold. I think metals are up, like GLD, SLV. Those types of things are up right now. VIX is at VX is up a little bit as well this morning. Which yesterday it never came back down really. Even though we ramped up, I mean, we did drop at close, but it ramped up almost to 16 on /VX. So, what stocks you guys looking at? What stocks you guys want to look at here? Nvidia as well. Nvidia is down pre-market, down 230. So, I would like it to come back down to like the 210, 220 area as well. I have 1550 GC calls. Let's see what you got going on here. You got the 1550s. Yeah, I can see that. What'd you, Matthew? What'd you pay for these? So you got the January 28th. 1550s. Going for like 10 right now. Oh, you have the futures? Okay, not the calls on the futures. Got it. Got you. AMD Chris, if you're here right now, say what up. Say good morning. Don't be a stranger. AMD, so the whole chip sector took a hit yesterday. I think that this could definitely come back to 4250 area. If you're like, Keith, what's up? SMH took a hit. All these chips took a hit yesterday. And if you're looking at it, I mean, when I say take a hit, I mean it didn't have a huge red day. Lion, what's going on? So it didn't have a huge down day yesterday, but I mean, the way that the chips have been running, expect some red days here, because I mean, people that trade AMD and all these people that are making money and are very bullish and all that stuff, it's okay, but you have to be reasonable, because you can't have a green day every day. You see all these people like, you think the trend will stay intact even with a red day, but it doesn't mean people think that they're getting screwed and all that stuff. You put the trade on, you have to know the risk. After it had like 5 green days in a row, you got to start to think to yourself, like, how many more does it have left, But I mean, I think we can come back down to 4250. Next year is going to be tricky in 2020, depending on how things go with the polling. We're going to get a lot of news. The one thing is about 2019, we had a lot of trade war news. I don't know if the trade war is going to be resolved in January for the phase 1. I don't know if the trade war is going to be resolved ever. But what we do know is there's an election coming up in 2020. If you guys remember 2016, I think it was a lot different because we knew that Obama wasn't going to go in. So there was two new candidates, Hillary and then Trump, of course. So every day, not every day, but very frequently, polling would come out and be like, hey, it looks like Trump's going to win, it looks like Hillary's going to win, blah, blah, blah. This poll came out, and it would make the markets go crazy, screw up your positions. So if you guys think that, we're out of the woods with the trade war, just be aware, this is an election year coming up. The stock market is not going to really know how to price things. Right now, obviously the market is probably pricing things in for a Trump win. When the market does well, more than likely the president gets reelected, because that's just how it goes. Whether you like them or you hate them. But when economies do well, money's money, right? People don't want to mess with the flow of money. Rob, you're not a stranger. Daniel, what's going on? WPM. What are you guys trading? Looks like this is going to be pushing. So right now it did push up to 30.55. I would just be very careful up in here, because of the size of the NIO's float. Would make better to likely to obey chart technicals better. Yeah, the only thing about NIO that I get worried about at these levels is you have to think reasonable, because the penny stockers come for these stocks, and they're showing up on everyone's scanners. They're pumping it, they're dumping it, So, Nando, how you doing? If you guys haven't yet subscribed, hit the subscribe button. Definitely appreciate everyone that's chiming in. Seems like you guys like the pre-market. Let's look at. So if you haven't yet joined the Discord as well, we have a Discord. We can. Oops, I didn't want to float. I want an NIO. So, yeah, NIO, 47% institutional ownership, 52% insider ownership. That is pretty high. Yeah, their float's 743,000. So, for a $3 stock, that's not a lot. $4 stock. YNG. I have thought about trading live all day. I've been hesitant about it because I'm not sure. I'm gonna we'll see. I'm not saying no. Maybe I will. Maybe once a week or something like that. But I don't want to mess with my trading and be like a distraction, because I do know that when I'm on the live stream, and I do pay attention to everybody in the chat. I do pay attention to what's going on, but I may not be paying attention to what's going on with my positions at the time. So, I try to be attentive to the people that tune into the channel, because I appreciate you guys, and I want to look at what you guys are looking at so we can have good dialogue. But with that said, I don't want to be losing profits. UVXY. Yeah, that's running as well. So, and yeah, this could definitely, you want to be careful with UVXY. Obviously, pretty good downtrend here, but this could definitely pop up to 15 for sure, easily. I'm on some antibiotics now, but this cold is just, I don't know. It's like in my chest, and I don't feel sick at all, but I don't know. It's very frustrating. It's very frustrating. Let's see, what else you guys looking at? Let's see, IWM for the year. Okay, it's finally broken out, but it's definitely been lagging again behind. The Russell's been lagging behind everyone else. So bronchitis. I don't know. I'm on a Z-Pack right now, so. And the weird thing is, like, this stuff only happens to me like when it gets cold outside. So let's take a bit. FedEx, another one that I'm looking at right now. Just got to be careful. It is making some higher lows here, but it looks like it could break trend here at 149. So it could, it still looks like it's trying to recover from earnings, but you want to be careful here, because this could easily get flushed. FedEx it's not particularly strong around the 150 area on FedEx. Square, I traded a little bit yesterday. I like it around here, around the 60s. But I think, right around 61, lower 61, 60 to 61 is now my range. I lost a little bit of money yesterday on it. I should have sold a pop here up to 62.50, but got stopped out. It was only a small loss. Lost about I think 15% on it, but we still managed a green day yesterday. It just was a little. It never popped back up with the rest of the market. That's why my short Apple calls right now. So I'm short some Apple calls. Definitely looking just to exit this morning if I can. ITCI. Just a little flat right now. Yeah, Intracellular. I guess for the pharma companies, I have to I don't typically trade them because there's a lot that goes into their FDA approvals and being knowledgeable about their products and all that. And I don't spend a lot of time on pharma because I find it very hit or miss. Sure, you could trade these, but I tend not to try to trade stocks like this because you get a lot of FOMO. The pricing gets pretty screwed up. Not saying you can't make money on it. I mean, open interest is okay. I don't know what the volume is on these calls or puts, but where as a trader, we all have to identify what our strengths and our weaknesses are. And one of my weaknesses as a trader is, that's why we're kind of called us versus herd. One of my weaknesses is hopping on the train and riding it while everybody else is riding it. That's not typically what I excel at. Sure, the chart is what the chart is, but the question is, it's hard for me to price in like the FDA approvals. I prefer to price in what like actual earnings numbers are, profit and losses, stuff like that. If you haven't yet, do me a favor, hit the like button. Definitely helps me out. Definitely appreciate you guys. You need a nice trip to Mexico. Yeah, so one time I was really sick, and I was sick for like a month. I don't know. I had a chest infection or something. I had a chest cough, and I took medicine. Nothing was working. I went down to Miami, and I went down to Mexico, and within 2 days it was gone. So I don't know if that's like someone telling me I need to move. I need to... I don't know, but something's got to give here. So a couple things on the radar this morning here as well. There is here's that NIO Bank of America upgrade right here. So just be aware, NIO did get upgraded. But we do have the home price index. Should have came out already. I don't know if it did here. Let's see. Oh, we just got news. Says Trump says he will sign phase 1 trade deal on January 15th at the White House. Okay, so he's obviously they want to make this in a huge event. Hold on. Okay, so there's no news yet. So we'll see what happens. But Trump says he's going to sign the phase 1 China trade deal on January 15th at the White House. So we'll see if this impacts the market in any way. Housing price index and consumer confidence for December as well is due out today. So just be aware. But yeah, other than that, pretty slow week. I mean, we don't have any earnings. We have the holiday tomorrow, so just be mindful of that in terms of options. We are short a day this week. So if you're trading weeklies, which I don't really recommend this week, just be cautious that you're going to be down one full day. Sorry, guys. I'm sure this is really, really annoying for you, hearing me cough day in and day out. So we'll see what happens. This is the first trade news that we've had in like a week or a week and a half. So, yo, Kevin, how you doing? What's going on? So right now, I am watching Apple. I think I'm going to close out my position here at the 290 level. I would like it to dip below 290, but I don't know. I'm not going to be greedy with Apple. Back in the game, enjoying my 4-day. Get back to it. Whether you trade full time or not full time, or I think the goal for every trader is to develop a stream of income. Whether you leave for a while and come back, I think that if you develop the skill, you're going to be able to create a stream of income no matter what. You don't know what the future holds. Like when I'm 60 or 70 or whatever the case is, when I'm an old man, 80. Hopefully we see those years, get those Warren Buffett years, you're able to create a stream of income that will potentially, you can make money for the rest of your life. I have Apple 290 calls and sold at 295. So you got a debit spread. You got a debit spread on Apple. Watch for reversal. You got everyone thinking it will sell off. Yeah, I mean, like if you look at Apple yesterday, or any stock, a lot of stocks recovered. Netflix didn't recover yesterday. So Netflix, I mean, it had a pop, but you have to make sure sell the pops because you got really hurt here. Or if you're bearish, I mean Netflix I think had a good bear setup because it got rejected right here while I was trying to fill this gap here. Got rejected 337, and now it's coming back down to probably like the 315, 310 area. For me though, I'm not really shorting stocks right now. I am short Apple, but it's very, 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 very small trade. I'm not trying to, when we're in this type of bull market, what people are doing is they're betting the house. They're like, oh, it's gonna crash any minute. I'm gonna put my full account on there. I'm gonna put 50% of my account on there. I'm gonna do 80% of my account. But I mean, like if you look at stocks like Apple, people have been shorting this whole thing and they're just getting wrecked and they keep losing money after losing money. And sooner or later, after they bleed you out and they bleed your account, like I tell you guys many times, the goal of the market is to take your account to zero. It's your job to not let them do that. They want to take all the money in your account and put it in their account. Their goal is to take your money to zero. So for you obviously don't want that, but you also, now in retrospect, now if you're looking at this, like let's say we take some of this out, you're looking at this, you're like, oh, it's going to come back down to 220. In the early ons, but once it keeps breaking, you can't just keep doing the same thing. People will just keep shorting, and you're going to keep getting the same results. Like if you keep losing money, you have to reevaluate your trades. You have to reevaluate what you're doing because you're doing something wrong. If you keep losing money day after day, week after week, you have to evaluate. I have a losing week. I have a couple losing days in a row. I go through every single part of my trade because obviously if you're losing like that, you're not seeing the market correctly. Every trader has red days. Every trader has a red week. So it doesn't matter if you're profitable or not. You have to realize, because the market will shift, the market will change, you have to realign your strategies with the market. When you're trading options, it's a lot harder because you have to align the correct strategy with the type of market that we're in or the type of chart that we're looking at here. On Apple, Iron Condor, probably not the best. But selling a put spread, selling puts, buying some calls, stuff like that, decent. So you'll also have to, as a trader, if you're a beginner trader watching, you have to be knowledgeable enough to know which strategy to use for the right type of setup. You can't just buy calls, buy puts, put on Iron Condor whenever you want and hope for the best. You'll get lucky from time to time, but generally, if you want to increase your winning ratio, you really have to understand the strategies, and that's why it's important to understand how price action works and get the screen time in and paper trade. I mean, you could paper trade, like if you just click on demand here, you could paper trade right on your Thinkorswim account, TD Ameritrade account. You can paper trade. You can log into the paper trading app. If you don't know how a particular strategy will work out, the thing is, people don't like to paper trade because they're like, oh, I'm missing opportunity, blah blah blah. But if you do the trade and you lose your money, I mean, that doesn't really feel good either, Man, they're cutting down Tesla. Okay, we got Apple down below 290 now, which is good for me. Tesla right at 405. So this could definitely retest 400 area, potentially break down below. Once we get some volume in here, as you can see, like on Tesla yesterday, had a huge volume right at open. I'm looking at the 15-minute chart, just got crushed. Did have a nice pop, but you got to be careful. I mean, this was a $10 pop. That was nice, but broken wing butterfly on for Apple. Yeah, you could do that. You could do that. All right, market just opened up. All right, I'm up a little bit on my position here for Apple. I'm up 15%, so I'm just gonna go ahead and close that out. I don't try to get greedy on my my spreads here. Just try to, because I don't want it to pop. Now it's popping up. Let's see. So I'm gonna close out my Apple position here on some down ticks here. Let's just try to put an order in for $1.10. All right, put my order in. So we'll see what happens on my credit spread. Right now the market's fighting. We got SPY down 82 cents, pushing 320. Apple under 290. So we'll see how it go, guys. So, all right, I'm gonna sign off. Thanks again for joining me pre-market. If you haven't yet, hit the like button. We'll be doing some more videos today. As always, stay safe, stay green. It's us for cert.